All right, let's continue on with our create account, sort of like the create account user story. Last time we left off, we have successfully created the account. We're getting the token back, but and it's sending us back to, well, it's sending us to login. Oh no, that's actually the next story happening, isn't it? Right here, it's now just, it clicks that and it's now looking to see if create account is disappeared. So a couple things. After we create this account, I want to be taken back to slash. Go ahead and open up a browser here. Okay. So we get this, we get the log of this coming back out. This needs to disappear, which means we need to unload the create account form and go back to that page. So we should be able to do that. So here we're in the create account code. This is sending us, okay, there's our log after we get the result back. We now want to send us, how do we do that? Let's go look at the documentation for you for the router. Because it should say how we do navigation. For function components, the use history hook. Okay, so use history, and then we can just push. Okay, so history, use history, and we can just push where we want to go. Okay, that sounds easy enough. So we need to bring the route out. Let's get the history here. Okay, so we have an option any history, but I believe, yeah, this has us just do an unwrap right here. I don't see a problem with that right now because we're inside of, like, we should always have a history, even if it's the first thing we go to. That should be fine. We should get that history. Now, I want to, inside of here, we're doing this async move. Actually, it's on this on submit and then inside of here. So we need to pull in here. Probably don't need to do it this first level, just this one. Clone you and then move you inside of here so that I can then move us. So we're going to do a history push route and we're going home. Okay, no errors. Let's see whether or not this works. So username, just do something random like that. Create account. Okay, excellent. That did send us home. So that part is working. The other part is we want to set up Yew.rs and put the token inside of that so that we can know in any component if we're logged in. Which means we need Yew.rs. Let's head back here. I'm going to go with Yew.rs functional, just so I can stay with all the functional components that we have so far. Okay, so we're gonna put this in, let Rust Analyzer sort of like figure this stuff out, and then we should be able to just start. Well, actually, we need to set it up. Right. Okay. So we need a state. So I'm gonna create a store just file inside of source here. And then inside of here, okay, so we're gonna bring in the Yew.rs prelude. I mean, I'm assuming that Yew.rs functional has a prelude that we can pull in. Let's find out. Oh, I don't see one. Okay, never mind. We're gonna create a struct for our state. Looks like we're gonna have to implement clone and default. So I'm just gonna call this the store. I'm only planning on having one right now. If we need multiple of them, I could just sort of go at that point in time and rename them. We're gonna drive. I don't need debug for this right now. So we're gonna do clone and default. And then we can just put whatever we sort of feel like in here. So, couple things. Do I need the user ID? I don't think there's anything I need the user ID for. The username I do, and the user token I do too. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them. I'm gonna keep this door as flat as I can for as long as I can until like it makes sense for me to like maybe have them be nested objects. I've just found that flatter stores just feel a little bit easier to deal with. So we're gonna have a pub username. It's gonna be a string, and a pub token, which is gonna be a string. Now I don't believe we need this dispatch anymore because we're gonna use the use. Where is it? Way down here at the bottom. They don't have a prelude. They just recommend you pull in everything. Well, we'll see about that. So we should be able to use store now. And we're going to use a persistent store because that's just going to make things a little bit easier for us later on when we do have the, hey, we can refresh stuff. So that's going to be in this create account. So let's pull in the store. Okay, so we have use store. And I do have to tell it exactly what type of store to use too. So I want to use a persistent store. What are my choices here? Can you not tell me? All right, let's go look at the documentation to see. Let's see, I want you. Is that it? Do I need Yew.rs also? Because we have like use dispatch, use store, there's store ref. But that's not like a different types of stores here. For the documentation. Oh yeah, look at that. We do need Yew.rs. Okay. Okay, so we'll let Rust Analyzer figure this out. And we'll pull in. Okay, so we have Yew.rs functional use store there. And we have use Yew.rs prelude and bring in all of you, which will now allow us to, here we are, use the persistent store. Okay, persistent store, and then inside of that, we just want this store. What are you upset about? Expected a comma. Oh, open, open, close. Oh, one more close. All right, now what? Expected another right angle. That feels right. Oh, wait, this isn't saved. Okay, so use store. Oh, wait. What is going on here? I want like that. Okay, it's not satisfied. Persistent is not satisfied. Okay, so we have to add in. Oh, right. There's a. We have to impl persistent if we want to do the that kind of store. So we'll do this here. And I don't believe I need to change anything unless I want the key to be different. Right now, the key is just like store, pretty much. I'm okay with that right now because we're not going to be having anything else go in there. What are you? Oh, and you need serialize and deserialize too. So we need to derive serialize, deserialize. Okay. Now I think things are gonna be fine now. So back to create account. We have our store, which gives us that store ref. I now need to get that inside of here. So we're gonna need a dispatch for this. So let store dispatch equals dispatch. I then want to move that inside of here. You can't be cloned, so maybe, do I want to clone just store? Hold on, maybe I want just this. Okay, no clone on here, so that's not true. Let's see. Then I do want the dispatch. Um, the big thing is like I always forget what exactly I need out of the Yew.rs let's see, this one. So it's gonna be store. Okay, we can get state, but I don't care about the state. All I care about is this dispatch, which gives us a dispatch. Okay, so we're gonna do. I'm now gonna pass that into here. Can I clone you? Store does not live long enough. Okay, so I have store get created right here. I want you to come inside to you. And this is out inside of here. Store dropped here while still borrowed. Okay, so I'm wondering if I need to create our store dispatch out here, clone you in, see if that works. Okay, so far it does. So I clone you into this block, then move you into the callback. Clone you again because we have another async block coming up, and so then we're going to be able to move that into here, and then use it. So for our store, we're going to want to clone out. Oh, we need the state too, don't we? Oh no, we don't. No, we don't. We can just set the thing that we want to set on it, I believe. Let's find out. So we're gonna do a store dispatch. What was it? It was like dot set or something. Or I'm getting all the different ways to do state management, different sort of like slightly confused. Let's see. Oh right, I need to do a reduce callback. Okay, so I don't need to do a reduce callback. I just need to do a reduce. So I create a reduce off of that. We're gonna get a closure with state inside. And now I want to update that state. So we're gonna say I want state dot username. I want you to be equal to this result dot username. So I want to be able to pull that in. Let's see how this works. I'm probably going to just clone these out here so I can move them inside. I'm going to move you and then set you to be the username. And then token is the last one. So state dot token equals, do the same thing here. Okay, so it's happy and Rust Analyzer is actually giving us stuff again. It's actually suggesting we don't need to clone the token because it's probably the last thing that we're using. Okay. Oh, because I'm taking ownership of it out and there's nothing else doing with it, so it's gone after this. Okay, great. So that's gone at this point in time. Our state has this inside of it, supposedly. We could verify that by taking this store and I want to get the state out of that. Let's put the token and just throw that down here. So maybe below this section, actually we go away from this one. Let's head back home. So let's go home and we'll put the token inside of here. So where do we need it? We actually need to use this in navbar. So let's actually change my mind. Let's go to navbar and we'll do our sort of experiment here. Less things to clean up. So we're going to use Redux prelude, everything. We're going to get stuff. Okay, then we need to use store. So we want a persistent store, and then inside of that, we want the store. And then I want to maybe right just after this link, let's just put in the token. Let's just see what we get. So we're gonna do we can just do like a quick div here. And we're gonna do store.state what do you give us? An option. Okay, so we're gonna unwrap. It could be an unwrap or default. That might make more sense. Unwrap or default dot. Okay, then that should give us the token. How about username? Let's get username. Store default is not satisfied. Interesting. Oh, because it's the RC store. So I need to deref this first. No, because okay, so I need to unwrap. Oh, this is where the map comes in. Okay, never mind. Hold on. I'm gonna do this up here. So I want the username. Okay, we're gonna do store dot. Okay, so store dot state. Gonna just throw in here. Okay, store dot state. That's an option. Now, I want to get stuff out of the option, but only if it exists. So we're gonna do the map. This is gonna be if it's. Let's see. I think this is gonna be if it's a thing that exists. So we'll get the state, and I want to return state.username. That gives us an option here. I think we can do unwrap or default now. Does that work? Oh, cannot move out. I don't want to move out. So I want to clone you. Oh, and this state is the RC persistent store. Yeah, so I should be able to get that out of you. The documentation also shows exactly how we're going to grab this. So we do store.state, map, account, unwrap or default. It's It's kind of what I've got. Okay. I mean, it's not yelling at us. So now we have a reference to username here. Let's see if this is working. So I'm gonna head over to create account. Do a really random name. Hit create account, and there is that username. Okay, so we correctly did that. Now I'm doing space around. The styling is a little bit odd on the nav bar, but we can fix that later. But the token part is working. So we have username, and presumably we have the token in there too. I'm going to just go ahead and trust that if we have one of them, we have both of them. Okay, so that's great, which now means that we can make this button disappear if we have that token. So we are going to want the username. I'm also going to want the, what is it called? The token out here. So the token is going to be equal to, okay, store.state. We're going to map and get the state. I guess it's not the state. This is the store. Okay, so I want to get store dot, this is the token. Clone you, unwrap or default. Okay, that should make you happy. So that's now going to be a string inside of here. All right, and then I want this create account to be inside of an if block. So if not token, and go ahead and do that thing. And I don't need you. Oh, let's see. Cannot apply. Oh, to string. Okay, so if token is not, okay, so token is not equal to just an empty string. Actually, Clippy is letting me know we can just do not is empty. Okay, let's do that. So there is this entire is empty. So if it is empty, we want to display this. All right, let's come back to here and see what happens. We don't get anything. So just out of curiosity, let's see if I can print out what this is. Actually, you know what I can do? I can just do a log right here. Going to log. Actually, it could just be a reference. Okay, we have the token here. So I think if the token is not empty, so if that is empty is true, right? If the empty is true, I want it to display this. The logic always like flips my brain. Okay, so if it's empty, I want it to display this. If it's not empty, meaning like not is empty, then I don't want to Oh, you know what you know what the problem is? Persistent store. I completely forgot that we actually have a token. So we need to come into storage and we need to delete this thing. It actually is using our entire app. Actually, it looks like multiple things here. Let's get rid of all of you. There we go. Now we have our create account. We come up here. Then it disappears and we have our token. Okay, so excellent. Let's come back to our Cypress tests and rerun these. So next up is it's trying to find this welcome message to print out. I accidentally stopped it too soon. To print out like welcome and then username. There it goes. So we should get this welcome, and then it should contain welcome, comma, and then the username. Okay, well, we actually have the ability to do that right now. We do want some sort of text, or we can just use a p tag or a span tag. But here we are in navbar. So we have, if the token is empty, now otherwise, we're going to want to display that welcome. So what will that look like? What if we do something like a div? I'm going to want to probably do a format. I might even want to do like a welcome message here. Let's do that. Welcome message equals, we're going to do a format. Let's say welcome, and then this is going to be the username. Oh, but it's true. I only want this to actually run if we're inside of here. So never mind. I've changed my mind. We're going to put that in here. I do that a lot when I'm coding, just sort of like start writing it out in one way and then it's like, oh, I know a better way to do it. I just immediately change it right then. Of course, welcome username doesn't work like that. We're going to do username like that. Okay. So now, also you are looking for it in a data dash test dash equals welcome. So we need to add you in there. So this is that div. That should make you happy. Let's see if that makes this this entire story pass. Oh, and it does. Okay, so we now have a green check mark. Go ahead and stop you. Next to creating an account. Before we move into logging into an account, there's a few things that we're going to want to do. But before even that, I want to commit this code. So, excuse me. Okay, so what do I want to do? The reason why I'm committing right here is because in the case that I screw up, I can always come back to this check mark that I created as we make our code better. So this is part of the red-green refactor. Basically, we have a bunch of warnings. We have 5 warnings. I like this code is a little bit messy. A part of it is because I have like really large font, and so it's looking not that great. The other part is that Rust Analyzer adds all this stuff in here, and so these lines look longer than they really are. They're still kind of ugly to look at, so we might find a way to sort of like deal with that. The other thing, so warnings, this code, and then the create account is just becoming a nightmare right now. Look at all this stuff. We're gonna want to deal with. We're gonna want to deal with this. So first off, let's work on that bar. It's the easiest. Going to remove you. I'm thinking, okay, we do the use store. I need that one out here. I am thinking about grabbing these out as part of maybe a function that we just have down here, and it can return maybe like a tuple of the username and token that we're interested in. So let's create that. A function, like get, like it's almost like the extract. We want this to like extract out from the store what we really want. So get from store. We're gonna take in the store, which in this case we can see is this store ref with a persistent store with the store inside. And we're going to return a tuple with string and string. And thinking about it more, this token, we don't really need this. Well, do I want the logic in here? Not really. I just want to grab the stuff. So I'm just going to do that. Okay, so then having you, I want to now take you, copy you out, and we're going to, I'm going to just do the entire thing. I'm going to do both of you. Throwing you in here, we're going to get the username, we're going to get the token, and then I want to return both username, token. Now it actually does know that these are strings. We're going to replace both of you. So we're going to get username and token out of here. So username, token equals get from store, pass in the store. It makes just a little bit easier to sort of read here, and then it's this adding the typings in is going to let us know exactly what's happening inside of here. So a little bit more readable. Let's see. This token is empty, is perhaps like maybe not as obvious as it might feel. I'm gonna go ahead and put a function is logged in. And we're gonna take in a token, which is a string. I'm okay with consuming this string for this one. And we're gonna return a Boolean. And I want that to be, we're just gonna return, okay, so is logged in is gonna be token dot is empty, not is empty. So if we were logged in, it's not empty. So now we're going to do the opposite here. So if not is logged in, pass it in the token. I think this is okay for right now. the HTML sort of complexity, I'm gonna go ahead and just sort of leave for right now. But okay, I'm relatively happy with this file. So I'm gonna close you. Home, you're fine. The main library, you're fine. The store. What do I want to do? Do I want to do anything inside of the store? I don't know. You I'm okay with. Okay, so you I'm not okay with. We have to create the on submit. So we have to have this here. We could do a dispatch callback. That could be helpful. Let's first by taking and like ungnarling the unwrapping, sort of extracting out this API call. So I'm thinking about, I don't know exactly where to put that, so I'm just gonna put it into source right now. And create an API file. So we're gonna make async functions here for the actual API calls. So we're gonna have async pub function. What are we gonna call this? This is gonna be, I guess, create account. We're gonna take in a username and a password. And we are going to return one of these things. Okay, so we have this auth response. We could return that directly. I'm kind of feeling like I just want to take both of these and copy them in there. So these are the structs. Okay, so we're going to return an auth response. You're upset because expected existential function trait or impl. Huh, interesting. I am in a function. Do I need to put pub in front of you? Yes, that was the issue. Okay, so now I need to return. I need to do something that actually does a feature. Because I think it's now yelling at me. Oh, it expects an author response. Okay, so now I need to do the thing where it returns. We have that right here. So we're gonna want the spawn local. I think is gonna happen somewhere else. So we're just gonna do this. That result equals this. In fact, we're just gonna get this request post. Go all the way down here. Grab you the JSON, unwrap, and then that's okay. Put you inside of here and return that result. Let's see. I need to give it the actual strings, which I have ownership of here, so that's fine. Oh, this is just username and a password. Okay, now it's just yelling at us because we're not actually doing the thing. So let's come back to create account, and we're going to replace all of this with that create account. Um, Also, because this entire thing is called create account, I already want to change this to like create account API or something like that. Or maybe like create account request, because that's kind of what it is. Okay, so back to you. You're getting completely changed with create account request. Can you find it? No. Okay, fine. I'll go find it. Your public. Okay, use create API create account request. Actually, you know what? I'm okay with just doing this. Create account. So create API. I'm okay if I do account API : create account. That will be fine for me. Where was my code? REST analyzer. You are hiding it. Let's see. Spawn. Okay, spawn local right here. Create account request. So this is now going to be API create account. We have to give it the username and password. So we have this username state here. So we want to dereference username state and dereference password state. And we have to await you. So it's a dot await at the end. No unwrap needed. Let's see, cannot move out of dereference. I don't want to move out, so we can to owned you. Okay. Let's see, mismatch types expected. Oh, I want this thing. So we have to deref first. That will get us the string, and then we to own that. So now we own it, and then we pass that in. Okay, excellent. That gives us our result, which is this auth response. We can log. We're already logging that out. We don't need to do that anymore. Then we do that history push. That's fine. Now we're getting this username and token out of the result. And then, you know what we can do? We have this result, which is the auth response. I don't need to pull you in. We can just move this auth response straight into here. And we're going to do state.username equals auth response dot data dot username. Oh, not that kind of auth response. Okay, we assign that into there, and everything should still work exactly the way we expect it to. Let's double check that by rerunning our Cypress tests. And it does indeed. Okay. What else do we want to sort of like change around in here? This entire spawn local thing. And this is all for the dispatching and sending into the Yew.rs store. I'm kind of feeling that I want to go into more like the React land and put that reducer in the same place that the store is. And then we just call that function from here and pass it in the necessary data, which might be the auth response. But I'm also wondering if we... Okay, so we have our on submit. Basically, all of this stuff, everything we're doing here is just get the information out and then send out. The only thing that's really for this component is the history. I want to go back to home. I think that would be it. So that username state, password state. Okay, so that's just grabbing these states out. We grab the store out. We have the dispatch. We can then use that dispatch. And that's an impl of a deref. Okay, so I can use that. And then this call. Okay, then we have our call. Okay, our callback. I'm sort of doing another dispatch here for this reduce. I don't know if that's necessary, really. I might be able to do something like store dispatch. What if I replace you? So what if I get rid of the store dispatch? We have store dispatch up there. So what if I do store dispatch dot let's see, it's you're not going to give me any suggestions. Thank you. Let's see, where are you? Okay, so I want to do a reduce callback. That's all I want. Reduce callback. So reduce callback. That gives us this here, but instead of an event that we don't... Oh, we do care about this event though. So it's a reduce callback with. So reduce callback with. The documentation has that in here somewhere. Here's a reduce callback. Okay. If the callback parameter is needed, it may be accessed using the star with variant. Okay, so here's callback with. I think this will be fine. So you're going to have the event, which is this focus event, but you're also going to have the state. No, the store. And then event this, we move you in. Okay, so now we event prevent default. That's the first thing we do. We grab the username and the password out. Now we don't need to do that anymore because we have this store. No, this is from local state. This is from local state. So that's fine. We grab you out. We grab the history. We don't need this dispatch anymore. We're done with that. We spawn local. That auth response. Okay, so we get a response out of here. We do our history push, and I don't need to do this reducer anymore. We already have this store from here. So your store. Do I need to clone the store? Oh, I may need to just clone the store. This specific store. Can I clone the store? Ooh, okay. So that's gonna be a problem. Because that would need to be mutable. Okay, it's fine. I'm moving the mutable store into here. It then can mutate it. So supposedly things still work. Ooh, wait, that did not work. Should be able to create an account. Expected span to not exist, which means it didn't get the data back. Okay, so that's good to know. That did not do the thing that we expected it to. So I'm thinking, so we do the spawn local to grab that information. I kind of want a reducer in the store. I want to go back to where we were before. Where was this? This was still in here. I want to do a... Oh, it moved different files now too. Okay, so that's... deref those. Okay, I think no errors. And we're happy. Okay, so what I want to do here is create not an API, but in the store, I want to create some reducers here. So we're gonna have a pub function, and let's do like a login reducer. So we're gonna take in username string. Oh, we need to take in the reducer too. So the username, the token, and the reducer. The reducer being where is that? Stored. Okay, the actual dispatch. Store dispatch. Store dispatch. This impl deref. This is what I want. Let's sort of like see what happens if I just say you are type. You're not a reducer. You're the you're a dispatch. I want you to be. Let's just say that you're a dispatch. And then we're gonna have a store. So this is a persistent store. Store inside. I don't need to return anything. We're just going to, if you give me these things, we're setting you. So I'm going to do a dispatch, reduce. guess this, it's really easy to confuse myself with like store versus state. State is like the local storage, and this is the store, which is the centralized store. Okay, so we have our store, and I want to say we're probably gonna have to do a move for this. So store dot username is equal to name, password equals password, token equals token. That's it. Now you're going to be okay until I try to use it. Then it's probably going to be upset because it's probably not exactly the type, but it'll yell at us. So where do we want to do that? We want to do it right here. This is where we have the username and token, which we could then take this auth response and sort of pass it in there. So I'm going to take you out. And we're going to do a, what is it called? Login reducer. So login reducer, we're going to pass in a username. So that's going to be a, I could have it pass in an auth response. That might be helpful too. You can try that. And pass in the result. And then it needs this dispatch, which is the store dispatch. Function takes 3, so we're going to come back and update you because we changed our mind again. So this is going to take a auth response, which is a type auth response. So you are going to be the auth response dot data dot username, auth response dot data dot token. I'm not getting any errors. That's a good sign. Let's make sure that things are working again. Or still. Yeah, okay, so we can indeed create an account. Okay, so any other ways we want to sort of clean this up? So a lot of these sort of like blocks that we're moving around, we're just creating them just to help make the borrow checker a little bit happier. But I'm not necessarily sure I want to move them outside of here. We can create another function to sort of make them hidden away, but I'm not sure how much that's actually helping because the complexity is inside of here, not just naming this one thing. Okay, so this is the callback for handling the onSubmit. Unfortunately, we can't return anything from the spawn local. Otherwise, that we could then put that inside of the API call. But I think we just remove some of these logs. We do our history push. And update our login reducer. So we update you. I think I'm going to keep this at right now. It's at least no more than a page at our zoomed in rate. So at least it's helpful that way. It's still not the best though. If I figure out a different way to do that, we will. But that being said, let's continue working on our getting rid of some of these warnings. Okay, so you're just saying, hey, if I just want a single thing, this should be a character and not a string. We don't need you to. We're not using you. Okay, so what are you yelling us about? Redundant clone. Okay, so I don't need to clone you. Now, if I don't need to clone you, do I even need you at all? Can I just get rid of this entire line? And if I can get rid of that entire line, I don't need this block. Makes things a little bit cleaner. And then it's going to be the exact same thing here. So get rid of you and get rid of you. Hey, and no more warnings. Okay, let's close all of these files up. And one last rerun of the test to make sure that that's working. And it is. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and commit this again, which is we can now log in again. Right, and next one up is going to be, sorry, that's going to be create an account. I mistyped that one. I'll fix that later. Okay, so we created an account. We were doing that last time, but this time we cleaned it up a little bit. We're storing the token, the username, into the Yew.rs store, which we also created. We're having that be a persistent store, so it's putting it all in local storage, and which means it survives reboots. We have our create account button that disappears as soon as we navigate back to home. So I think things are looking pretty good for us now. Coming up next will be the logging in. But I'm going to go ahead and take a really quick break, and then we're going to get into that in the next video. We'll see you then.